Hey everyone, Anders here with another Black Desert video. Today I'm going to go over the new gathering mechanics introduced in the new Land of the Morning Light continent expansion. This content may get some changes down the road, but this guide is based on what we have to work with as of the making of this video. Green Artisan is the new mechanic introduced with this expansion and directly buffs the amount of loot you get through all types of gathering. To unlock this feature, you need to first have at least Artisan 1 level in gathering and complete a side quest that starts in Nampo Harbor. You need to speak with the NPC and then go throughout the map gathering different items and handing them in to various other NPCs. I recommend you bring all of your gathering tools with you, as there will be many different types of resources you'll need to gather for each quest. Having a pet with the gathering resource ping talent is also going to be useful. I'll have a condensed walkthrough of the questline at the end of this video so you can see what to expect. Once you finally complete the lengthy questline, you will be given a knowledge entry that unlocks the ability to proc the new Green Artisan mechanic. If at any time you wish to disable this new mechanic, you can do so by toggling the mode on and off from your profile UI. The way Green Artisan works is by a random proc, so when you are gathering normally, you have a chance to proc the Green Artisan minigame. If you successfully complete the minigame, you will consume 10 energy and be rewarded with 10 times the amount of loot you would have obtained. So if you were to obtain 10 meat, 1 hard, and 2 sharp crystals from one gather, you would instead get 100 meat, 10 hards, and 20 sharps. This also works on Caphras and event items. The only restriction, as in the only items that don't get multiplied, are the infinite mana potion drops. Each gathering tool also has its own minigame, so we'll go over them one by one, starting with the Hoe gathering minigame. You'll be shown a small grid with root locations. You need to memorize where the roots are and then use WASD to move around the grid and spacebar to dig out the roots. Once you dig out the roots within the time limit, you will succeed the minigame and be rewarded with 10 times the loot. If you fail any of these minigames, you will consume 1 energy and get the normal amount of loot you would have obtained had you not had the Green Artisan proc. Essentially, all you lose out on is a little bit of time. For the Butchering Knife minigame, you will have a fast-moving meter bar. You need to press spacebar on the meat locations 3 times to succeed the minigame. Very simple. For the Tanning Knife minigame, you need to tap spacebar to keep your knife within the lines. Very simple minigame you've seen in a lot of other games. Not really my favorite, as you need to press spacebar to start, and then the speed at which the knife drops can catch you off guard the first time you do this. For the pickaxe, you will see a rock and some red dots. Use WASD to move around and spacebar to strike the red dots. Once you find the place where the weak spot opens up, just keep pressing spacebar to break through to complete the minigame. For the Lumbering Axe, you will recognize this minigame from the Herb Collector. Works much the same way. You want to tap spacebar when the icon is in the blue zone 5 times to complete the minigame. And lastly, for the Fluid Collector, it looks similar to the Lumbering Axe minigame, but you want to hold spacebar instead of just tapping it. Stop in the blue or green zone to fill up the meter. Once it is full, you will succeed. If you stop in the green zone, more of the collector will fill up, so you'll need less attempts, saving you some time. Remember, every time you proc the minigame and succeed, you will acquire 10 times the loot you normally would have received within that gather. So the higher your mastery, the more powerful this effect becomes. If you don't like a particular minigame, also remember you can disable the Green Artisan mechanic anytime you want through the profile UI. The rate at which Green Artisan minigames will proc is low. It won't happen every time, but it didn't feel unnecessarily low. At worst, I waited about 7 to 8 minutes for 1 proc, but this will of course rely on the density of your resource gathering, how many nodes you're collecting per minute, and so on. I used primarily the new region for testing, though I did have to go to Pilgrim's Haven for the pickaxe test and found the density there was high enough that I was getting procs at a much faster rate than the others. Overall, this should be a straight buff to gathering once it releases on global servers. With the Green Artisan mechanic, we also received Life Skill XP and Life Mastery Crystals. You want to complete the main story in Land of the Morning Light to receive your choice of an XP and 1 Mastery Crystal for free. If you want to get more, you can buy them from the market or run a repeatable quest from the same NPC you received the questline from in Nampo Harbor. For this quest, you will need to hand in a Forest Crystal, 50 Trace of Forest, 50 magical shards, and 100 magical lightstone crystals, after which you will be able to choose what type of crystal you want. The Forest Crystal can be obtained from sniper hunting in Land of the Morning Light, Dokubi excavation nodes, special barter, and fishing in Land of the Morning Light zones. Now, sniper hunting was disabled the first week of release because of bugs, so I'll start testing that this week. I've been fishing overnight since release and have received 0 forest crystals, and I've been sending workers to the Dokkaebi nodes since a day after release and have received 0 forest crystals, 0 Hanguk embers, basically no rare drops from those nodes whatsoever. More than likely, sniper hunting is the main way to obtain these, so I'll report back once I get more data. Nevertheless, whenever you are able to get these crystals, they are in the unlimited category of crystal, which means you can stack them as much as you want. So far, the prices of each one have hit around 200 million silver so far, with not that many sold, so it's hard to say where they will stabilize. But definitely a crucial crystal to try and obtain if you're big on life skills. Let me know what you think about the new gathering mechanic in the comments down below. Do you think the addition of these life skill crystals will be something you'll use? I'll have more Land of the Morning Light videos coming up on the channel, so stay tuned for those, or check the new region playlist on the channel to watch every video related to the new zones. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
낮이든 밤이든 사시사철 당신 곁을 밝힌 초롱색. 백성 인생의 진정한 친구는 그 물건을
여우 고개에는 전설이 하나 있어요. 비나이다. 비나.
아이들이 이불 지도를 그린다고 벽걸의 존재.
고맙수다. 그냥
낮이든 밤이든